So, this video is myself talking to a friend of mine, Miran Dilberovic. We've worked on feature films like the new Tom and Jerry movie and Jurassic World together as Previs artists and Postvis artists. So this conversation that we have is just talking about a personal project of his that he made last year in his spare time. It's awesome. I've watched it so many times. It's Spider-Man, it's skateboarding, it loops, hence why I've watched it so many times. Just press play and watched it about 30 times in a row. So yeah, we just talk about the project, behind the scenes, his thoughts on it, how he made it, like how he got into the industry, how he became a previous artist, when he sat on set with George Lucas. So yeah, cut to the video right about now. What a great way to start. Spider-Man Skateboarding for me, that's two of my big passions. So, what shoes were they, Miran? Are they Niger? What
Niger
shoe. Niger shoe, yeah, that's it, because you scanned them in, didn't you?
I scanned two Nikes and these fit the best Spideys, so that's why I used them.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when did you do this project? When did you start it?
So I just started before, was it September? Somewhere around. I started playing with Spidey. I had the rig from internet, and then I created my own costume materials and stuff like that because I always wanted to do some animation with it. So I was just R&Ding the redshift shader for Spidey, and then Tony Hawk demo came out, warehouse demo. Start playing that, and then I heard there's not gonna be Spidey in it, and as you know, in original Tony Hawk you can play as Spidey.
Yeah.
So then I started just thinking about it. Oh, maybe I could use him because it was setting up a few days, and then I got the Unreal thing, so I had to do that. And then after I finished Unreal, this was half baked, and I decided let's finish it. And so I finished it. What was it, in mid-December? So I prepped like just a few play blasts, so you can see a few versions. I have Maya scene open, and maybe I can open, if you want, After Effects file just to see the layers, and that's it.
Just talking about it just on a casual, like from the idea to the bit of the process, and just talking about I don't know, problems, any issues, just some, I guess, the typical, not behind the scenes as in depth as that stuff, but just a chat about the whole thing, really. Anything interesting, anything annoying about it, anything fun about it, just all that usual stuff. So
so for the first thing about it that was annoying, that you can't play Tony Hawk and you can't have Spider-Man. That was the biggest annoyance.
Well, that was one of the reasons for you to do it, I guess.
Yeah. Spider-Man was always cool. I don't know about you, but for me, he was the top dog. Like,
always
the coolest. The kinematics of it, especially watching Sam Raimi's 2002 movie, especially if you remember the trailer, the World Trade Center trailer that was later banned. It was so good. It had like 4 or 5 shots of Spider-Man swinging. When I saw that as a kid, and that's the point when we started skating. It was like Spider-Man, Tony Hawk, all combined. So when I had this Spider-Man rig and went play with it, and Tony Hawk came out just the right time, just decided to do something. And you always wanted something grand and epic, like swinging or doing some kind of amazing trick up in the air, but I wanted to be on the road, on the pavement, close to it, feel the real camera shake and everything, and Spidey just being Spidey, and at a certain point he needs to swing or something, but just stay grounded as much as possible. That was the goal. So
and where did you get this rig from then, Miran?
It's a rig that Kiel Figgins or something like that. He had this rig for a few years, and I just wanted to make my own costume, like make it more classic. I think the rig had the Andrew Garfield first movie costume, and I scrapped that, made my own. And because I'm a big redshift fan, I love the way redshift material works. So I played for days and days, getting the right texture, right feel, the small details in it, the wrinkles.
Yeah.
Because I always felt if you put some wrinkles in a Spider-Man costume, it automatically looks much better because it gets that reality to it. Actually, I have few. So whenever I'm testing materials, I always like to snapshot everything I had, like every new render. Oh, I'm gonna save it for later. So when I'm done, I can go from 0 to. Just let me open that folder. So I'll scroll quickly through these.
Yeah, man.
But this is like the first thing I had, and I was like, oh, this is so good, and I was just playing with the eyes.
Yeah.
So now I can't. Yeah, like this is the biggest thing because it's a small snippets of renders, like low res thing. But I'll just go quickly through them.
Yeah,
I'm just testing HDRIs and how material reacts, and along the way I would change. I would paint up, go in Photoshop and paint different stuff. This is just me, like the wrinkles on the back, how to make it better, and without wrinkles, with wrinkles. And I was like, oh, this looks good, good. And then you wake up in the morning and see it again. Oh, it doesn't look that good. So you go back into Photoshop, take the displacement map, paint it all over again. And then after 30th displacement map, you go back to the second one you did, and it worked perfectly.
Mint.
So this was just some posing, how much of reflection in the costume, in the material.
Awesome. Nice.
And then the shoes came in.
Was the shoes an additional idea, Miran, or did you was that from the start? Like, I want to put him in shoes, or did you just think, oh, I'm going to scan some shoes and add it on? Was it an afterthought, or was it just part of the whole project?
Yeah, I was learning how to photo scan, and there was a new app on a phone, Android app for photo scanning, and I tried it and didn't work. And then I took my DSLR and just started with my room, but I put a stack of Blu-rays in my middle of the room, scanned that worked, and then one by one I went through it, and I scanned 2 of my shoes, and I had them in a library, and I really liked how the white ones, these Nikes, came out.
Yeah.
And then when the idea of Spider-Man skating, it's going to be a skate scene, and I said, oh, I had those Nikes, I should use them. I went in, cleaned them up a bit, put them in, and this was like the first time I've put them in just to see how it looked. And so you need to use your camera. I mean, you can use your phone camera, but you're gonna get better results with DSLR camera. I used reality capture software, and basically after you press a button, 2 buttons in that software, and after an hour, magically you have a 3D model with textures on it.
Mint.
Just need to take it into Blender or Maya, and it's high poly. You kill some of those polys, clean the textures somewhere in mesh, and voila, you have it.
So these are all the renders. And then what about animation and stuff? Did you play around with any mocap stuff, or was it just all hand done?
It was all hand animated, because mocap, it's hard to find good mocap, and then you need to adapt your rig to it and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna share this now. So this is like my first play blast without the camera, and without, of course, finished animation. So the cheat that I have used, and I'm gonna show it later in Maya scene. So Spidey is not moving; the environment is moving.
Oh, really?
Because I knew that I wanted to use app for camera for Android, and I tried it. So Wiley Cam. If I need to travel a lot, if I need to constrain the camera to the Spidey, and if they're gonna move a lot, it's not the easiest thing then to record the camera with it. And it was the only cam for Android phones. And I installed it to put it on Maya, and it's really basic. Like you press connect in Maya, the app opens. You just need to take it. There's a barcode. It sees the barcode, and you connect it. You can control your camera. Sometimes it's a bit laggy, so you need to take down the textures, everything, so the streaming is as fast as possible because it's using Wi-Fi, of course. And then when I animated the whole through of Spider-Man, just like blocked it from start to finish, then I went into the app and just created like 5-6 cameras, and then just tried, okay, how does this look, how does that look, and now I'm gonna just show you.
Okay, yeah, show us, yeah, man.
So this is like, this is just anime without the camera, without anything in it, and it's really slow and shitty and everything, but this was like the first rough pass of it. And this is me already testing the camera app, just trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
And was it your idea to loop it from the start? Because I noticed this version, did it loop, or does he leave? Because the camera...
So, by this point, from the start, it wasn't... I didn't have the idea to loop it. But when I was animating the Corridor Digital guys, and I think you know Corridor Digital channel, Corridor Crew, they made video about how they made loop videos, and it was really inspiring. And I said to myself, well, maybe I can try to loop this, and that's where the idea came from. So in the middle of me animating this, so I knew that I can't loop it perfectly with my camera live, so I knew that I had to stitch it somehow after the fact, after I have everything. So I just needed to be as close as possible from my first frame to my last frame, and then I will do the magic. This is putting buildings in. I've bought the buildings on ArtStation and TurboSquids. This is my final cam here. And this was the end frame of it. So I had to go in After Effects. I zoomed in even more. Yeah, I never done anything like it, and I don't know. What about you? Have you tried looping animation?
No, I haven't. Was it a pain? Would you do it again?
No. But when you're on Instagram, there's so many loops. So you're like, oh, this should be easy, like, but no. Just let me quickly share Maya, and this is where you can see it's all cheated. As you can see in my perspective view, everything else, like this, the whole set is moving, and the Spidey and the camera are staying in the middle. So that's the cheat. So I had multiple cameras just trying. I don't think you'll notice anything different, but it was so good to have the ability to just, this camera doesn't work, I'll go open the app, record again, and it works like a charm. It's fast, and I got lots of comments of people liking the camera. They said it feels like they can feel the wobble, the bubble, the jitter of the hand and stuff, and you can't fake that if you want to put the noise modifier into the curve.
It's not the same, is it?
No. So, yeah. And
I really like the little, I guess, the little foot adjustments just before he does the trick, and just the subtle...
because I had to crop into the beginning, so there's one more, like, I missed on few of those moments, but yeah. Look, playing Tony Hawk gave me lots of, because those animations in Tony Hawk, I know you played Session, no, not Session. What's your game?
Well, I've played both, but the one I play most is Skater XL.
Skater XL, yeah. They have even better animations, I guess, because I saw some of the footage of that. Like Tony Hawk, it's amazing how they developed from those janky ass animations back then, and now they've upgraded everything. It feels the same, but it looks better. So the animation, like the poses, they hit the same poses as before, but there's so much in it going on that it's just lovely to see. So awesome. When I was animating this, I wanted to incorporate a lot of small stuff in it.
Carry on. Oh, so it's After Effects, After Effects.
Yeah,
because you use Nuke as well, don't you? But what was the was it like a conscious thing to use After Effects, or was it just the best option at the time to do it for this project? Or you're more comfortable in it? What is it?
I'm more comfortable in it.
Yeah.
Every time I start a project, I tell to myself, "You're gonna do this in Nuke. You're gonna do this in Nuke." Actually, I've learned Nuke. What was it? 2.5 years ago. I was on Rise of Skywalker, and I had Dave Edwards as a supervisor there. And thanks to him, I learned very quickly Nuke because he was so patient with me. But basically, I had one of the most difficult shots to start learning Nuke. I don't know if you saw Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
Yeah, there's on the speeder chase in the desert. You have Chewie and Rey on a speeder, and you have 3 missiles coming above them, and the camera is underneath Chewie with all his fur. You see the lens flare, the sky, and missiles hitting the dust. And there was a blue screen, there was dust, there was hair, everything in it. And I need to now. I've animated the scene in Maya. I have the missiles and everything and explosions, and I need to comp it in Nuke. I was like, I'm proud. Like, I'm proud of myself. I can learn software quickly. This is my domain. So after half day of trying to key, I would key the sun. I would lose the flare. I would lose the Chewie, but I wouldn't lose the green screen or blue screen, whatever it was. I just turned to Dave and I almost in tears. Man, I don't understand this. I can't do this. And he was like, put his chair next to me. You did this, this, and that. Boom. He printed out all the shortcuts, placed it in front of me, and next day and a half, I finished that shot. And by doing that crazy ass shot, I really learned how Nuke was behaving, learned the logic of it. At one point, I was, I have the sky, I've got rid of the blue screen, I have Chewie in it, and I went into the beginning of the shot, and there's no Chewie in it. There's completely no Chewie, because there was some kind of a blue mist, blue dust, and I keyed completely Chewie out of the shot because the dust was blowing, and it took blue from the blue screen, because they shot it on film. And the dust came, like in first 25 frames of the shot, there's that blue dust, and I was working on the later frames, and I didn't see that I keyed the dust and Chewie with it. I
saw Chewbacca at what was it? It was at Pinewood, and we were all at the window. Everyone was like, because the stage doors opened up, and you could see this huge hairy fella, obviously it was Chewbacca, and then you've got like the typical runner type coordinator people with the headphones on, with the boards, like talking to him and like putting stuff in the pocket and on the walkie-talkies and all that stuff. And then he was standing there for about a minute. We were all at the window, like me, Paul, I think Matt Perrin, Adam, just looking down, like, because we were slightly above the window, and then the door shut, and then it was back to work. Yeah.
Oh, man, I can't even tell you how much I was in awe when I came. I came to work on Solo in Pinewood for the first time, and I came in while Phil and the other guy were directing, and they were directing the end shot of the movie with Han and Chewie playing the game, and I was standing like next to Chewie and Han Solo, and I had to take all the camera data infos, like I had to concentrate, and I was like in shock and awe.
Impossible to sort of focus.
Yeah, and I have the iPhone in it with my app in it, and I need to look at the camera, what's the camera doing, and I need to look at the phone. No way.
Oh, because was you on that job? Was that some VFX wrangling before you ended up working on a Star Wars job just after that?
Yeah,
cool,
that was my last job on set, and then I became a Previs. But as a big Star Wars fan, when Ron Howard came in to the first day of shooting, it was inside of Millennium Falcon, and George Lucas came. George and Ron were sitting on the Millennium Falcon table where they played at chess, and I was like 10 meters from them. They were taking pictures, and I'm like, okay, this is it. I'm on Falcon with George Lucas.
Can't get much better than this. That's ace.
No.
Life's complete.
And then I went into the. I shouldn't even say this because props and set deck would kill me.
We'll blank this bit out. We'll cut this.
I went.
How many sort of rendered layers did you put out for this?
Yeah, I've ended up using like 5-6 layers, but you can see I've mixed them in all sorts of ways. This was straight out render from Redshift, and I have to say I didn't like it. It should be sunshine. I shouldn't be seeing all these colors and everything, and the environment looked fake and everything. And then I put in some of the render layers, and then I've got this thing, which felt to me, okay, it's bleached out. This is what I want. I don't want to see Spidey colors in full details and everything. So yeah, I was really happy with this.
Nice.
And this was my then starting point to continue on. And to be honest, I'm not happy with the end result. That's this part. I don't like this part. I just didn't know what to do. It doesn't look good to me. So this is this is one of the flares.
Yeah.
And this is another flare. I'm just not happy with the result. I think I could have done much better job, but it would take me a few more days of just playing with it.
I was going to ask you, Miran, real quick. What was, like the whole getting into Previs stuff for yourself? Was that something that you wanted to do, or did you fall into it? Because I know that you don't solely just do Previs, you do Postvis, you do, short films, you do a lot of different things. Is Previs something that you'd stay in, and how did you discover it?
I think we're similar in this, but when I was in high school, I wanted to be a director. So you want to make your own movies and stuff. And then I got master's degree in animation, and I did a lot of freelance work back in Croatia, and then movies and TV shows like Game of Thrones came in, and then I went on working on set. And I knew Previs because of making of documentaries on Blu-rays and DVDs. So I knew what Previs was, and I'm that guy that likes to, because I started as a painter in high school. I went to the painter high school actually. And I'm not the one who paints something for 3 hours. I'm more like a croquis guy, and it's done. And I always felt the Previs is my kind of a way.
Yeah.
You do it roughly, quickly, and you go off with it. But then, of course, you learn that you need to change it and adapt it 100 times. But I love that fast-paced style, and that was just because watching documentaries. And I was working on solo on set. And I was really, it was six days a week, 14 to 15 hours per day. And I told myself, this is going to be very tough if I want to continue like this.
Yeah.
What I want to do. And I remember myself sitting during my lunch break in front of the big set where they have battle and stuff, and thinking, what are my options? What am I going to do with my life? And Previs, why not Previs? Previs is like directing. You're not just animating, because just animating is not that fun. You can control lights, cameras, as you saw on that DVD. Maybe I'll do a reel and apply. And because I was a bit lucky, and the people that I worked for, the VFX people on solo, they told me I know people at third floor, give me your reel and I'll send them. And to be honest, I knew third floor only because of the DVDs. And that's the only previous company I knew, because they started
Star Wars and
the third floor on the ranch, on Lucas Ranch. And they called me back. We like it. Do you want to start working with us? When can you start? I was finishing solo in mid-October, and I had 2 days off, and I was in Soho then working on Previs. But that was I never thought that I'm gonna work on it, but when I thought about it, on that day on set, well, check this, check that, check. Oh, why not try that? And
Mint. And do you reckon now you're going to use your knowledge as doing Previs to then go and do your own shorter films? Is that where you want to go? Because being able to experiment in the whole Previs thing has allowed you to sort of know you know, what you want to see and what you want to make? Where
Of
do you
course,
see?
Jamie. I think you know the same. Like when you opened up the world of how you can make stuff, and you learn from the. You work with amazing people, like amazing supervisors that have so much knowledge. You go to their IMDb page, and he did that, and I'm working with him. And the new technology opens so many possibilities. And then when you come home, you're like, when can I work on my shit? Because I want to implement all of this. But time is always yeah.
Well, Miran, this has been great, man. I just want to say thanks for the time and stuff, and I just hope.
Hey, thank you, man, and yeah, stay safe and hope to see you soon.
Thank you very much, man. Take it easy.
See ya.
Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Bye, mate. Bye.
Thanks for watching that video. Miran's a super nice guy, super talented, so look out for more stuff from Miran. Our next video will be talking with a guy called Luis Andrade, worked on films like The Mummy, Cloverfield, Terminator, Jumanji, X-Men, and he'll just be talking about his process, giving us insights of how he does Previs, tips, tricks, insights, how he uses Unreal Engine 4, how he converts from working in Maya, passing that onto Unreal Engine, how he recreates some of his favourite scenes from movies like Avengers and Mission Impossible and Batman. So super excited to put that video out, coming soon. See you in the next one.